Hello and welcome to another Dungeon Thunders Awakened video with me. Yay! Alright, so I thought I'd give you a quick update on getting to Nightmare difficulty from Insane. I have managed to get my character to level 70 and I did the very first map on Nightmare. Turned out to be pretty easy. Didn't want to record that one because it's boring as balls map. Just give you a quick rundown of kind of how I got there. I had somebody else who was higher level than me with better towers who helped me out for unlocking the summit. So we went through all, because the boss fight's pretty hard, so he helped out with the throne room and the summit boss fights there, and helped out with building all that. So we got there. I was able to solo build Glitterhelm myself at that point and didn't have any troubles clearing it, so that was awesome. Yay. And everything else. I went back, tried Endless Spires on my own, that wasn't an issue. I did do a Magus Quarters survival, and I got pretty high wave on that. Wait, no, it wasn't Magus Quarters. Sorry, I did a Throne Room. I think I'm going to have a quick video showing how easy it was to do Throne Room survival and get to pretty high wave. I didn't complete it just because I actually ran out of time to finish it. I had to go do something else, close game, but at that time it was pretty easy. I forget exactly what level I was at, but leveling up was pretty quick. That really helped me get to 70 pretty fast. Ended up doing Glitterhelm Caverns. That taught me up to level 70, which was awesome. No issues, so then we jump straight into Nightmare. And then let's go back into Ancient Mines and let's see, what kind of my stats look like and I'm not gonna. I don't really expect people to join my game. They might. You never know. Gotta hold space if you want to skip that. I get that a lot. So I've started making my Series EV more of a wall. More of a wall person than. I'll go with a 4-length wall, that'll work fine. And then we're gonna do a buff beam. And we already actually had someone join us. I did not expect it to go that quickly. So should we do a 5 or 6? 5-length buff beam. Things on the end of it. And then of course we're gonna need another wall over here. If they're chatting so far, they are not. So go into inventory, bring up our stats. You can see 208 fortify, 133 power. Mostly gone into. I don't really know yet if I want a proton beam. Figure that out later. So if we look at my monk stats here, I've gone mostly for health and range, a bit of power and a few other things. For the most part, since his auras are only really being used for the ensnare and the strength drain. Oh gosh, can't do that yet. Way too early. So we're gonna just do our fireball tower. Fireball tower? Yes. Can't even build that. We need to sell our buff beam. We got a good idea of where we want to build that fireball tower. So one of the things that's going to be a new enemy that they introduce on Nightmare is going to be spiders. Spiders can be quite annoying to deal with. They will gum up your tower, slow them down, they'll gum up you as a hero, slow you down. All kinds of nastiness. That's just frustrating. We're going to do a proton beam because they're very cheap. And 4 length. That catches the majority of the enemies. Now, physical towers are things that physically can be attacked by enemies and take damage. So physical towers will be gummed up by spiders, they're a bit vulnerable, whereas non-physical towers like proton beam or auras or traps, you don't have to worry about the same pet that I've got on my apprentice to buff the tower and make the bit stronger. Here's a shark dude. I forget exactly how the shark enemies work, but they're a new enemy that's introduced with Nightmare. I believe they can actually push your defenses out of position. You can charge them, and it's very dangerous. You want to make sure that they're not moving your walls out of position, because that will allow all the enemies to come in. So I seem to remember the beam from the original dungeon. So as you can see, I'm not very useful against these enemies. I can't really do much damage. Thankfully my towers can still hurt them, so we'll get them onto the beam here, and now we can He's taking... Wow, no damage at all. Okay. As of right now, it looks like he can't push my tower, so that's good. We definitely don't want that. So far we're doing pretty good. Here is an enemy who's going to be resistant to fire. Yeah, previous map I had the... spiders. This map we got the shark team. So interesting to see that bit of a difference, but there are new enemies that are introduced on Nightmare, which can be quite challenging. I have very low DPS. I think part of the problem is I have not upgraded this weapon. Just push him off the edge. That's it. I don't have what it takes to kill him, so if I just push him off the edge, he dies. It works much better. Okay, so I'll bring out my beam. You blank. Ooh. I get that. I blank beam. I'm gonna have to move this tower. It's not buffing it. But oh, it's buffing the wall, but it's not buffing the one. Cell. I'm gonna go 3. I really like fire flame burst towers because of the amount of splash damage they do. That's one of the things that makes them as good as they are. Splash damage. Of course, Deadly Striker towers are a very good tower in this. Now, they weren't... I don't think they were as good originally, but they've definitely upgraded them compared to the original Dungeon Defender, so that helped a lot. Oops, that was the wrong button. Worked out. Build a tower. So, always good to have these towers to slow down the enemies. In Strength Drain auras, your defenses take less damage, it reduces the damage the enemies do, and most important, of course, it strips the elemental resistances again. So, if you're not going to have any towers doing elemental damage, Strength Drain aura can still be useful just to reduce how much damage like ogres and big strong enemies do to your wall and stuff. I don't know if I sell this beam, if I'm going to have enough left to rebuild it. I like the position. Okay, so it does actually tell me how much I'm going to sell it for. I think 19. And how much do they cost to build? They cost 40. Nope, not worth the risk. Alright, some mana in the combat phase. And hopefully this works. We're definitely a little short-staffed at the moment in terms of I don't have my DPS character out, I just have my tower builder out. I'm worried that these shark guys might at any moment ruin my day by charging defenses, but for now it looks like as if they currently do not charge defenses, so that is great news for me. As you can see, that splash damage, absolutely phenomenal. Alright. Go. There. Beams really aren't that strong. Sell this beam. And now it's going to prove me wrong that I wanted that beam to stay where it was. That's amazing. Frustrating. I can't build up all the enemies or something there. There we go. Yay, there we go. Okay. Now, oh man, if I plan these two nodes out a little better, it will change. Actually get, you could get the buff beam hit. Use time as they get a tower, but I'm not going to worry about that. Go. Well, actually, I'm going to make this a 6 length, so we can actually we can actually just hit up everything. Balance. That's gonna work. Yeah, that works right there. I want to do some Deadly Striker towers. So we're gonna do one fireball tower here for all the beautiful splash damage it does. I'm gonna do Deadly Striker towers because they have made them look good in this. I don't know what it's going to hit on the other wall, if anything. It hitting, nothing on the other wall. So I'm going to reposition my beam on these walls. One of the big things that we want to look for is we want to look for trying to get as much utility out of the tower as possible in terms of having it hit multiple things. So I'm going to move that there. Yeah. Does it get this one buff beam? It does. It doesn't get the other one, obviously, but I'm going to rebuild the other one in a bit better. Alright. This angle will allow me to cover more areas with the tower at a time. So this is a very simple build. Hopefully it works. We will pause the video here and we will come back when I'm on the last wave, successful. Alright, so we are now on wave 5. The spiders I was talking about earlier have started to spawn. So the spiders tend to spawn in random spots, drop straight from the sky. As you can see, some just came in. You can see how they cast the spider web there. And the main goal is you just want to either have your tower set up in such a way that they keep the spiders where they spawn in, or kill them before they can do anything, or you're just going to have to manually DPS them. So in this case, we're just manually getting damage on them and letting them actually hurt our, gum up our towers. We're not trying to specifically deal with them. It's still fairly easy. We're not struggling too much. And, you know, by all accounts, most people would think that I've got fairly low stats, fairly low weak towers, you know, to do nightmare content. So it's nice to see that it's actually not too bad. It's pretty easy to clear this as you progress through the campaign levels. Of course, it's going to be a different story if you start going into saying, I want to be able to do the survival, you know, or if you want to up the difficulty way higher. I definitely could have gotten away with doing hardcore here though. That's one thing we could have done differently. You can see now they're gumming up the spider jump, they're going to be a lot slower. So these deadly striker towers here, the way they're angled, they can kind of hit some of the spiders that spawn over here, and the ones that come in into the back. And of course nothing can hit the spiders that spawn in here, so we have to deal with them ourselves. And yeah, this is just something that, you know, by playing the map over and over again, you'll slowly start to learn things about like where the spiders drop in and, you know, which enemies are a threat at which area. It's always important, these ogres are one of the, you know, they're one of the real challenging things that you have to deal with when you get into Nightmare. We actually want to kind of get the ogre on the team to do damage. If you can. There we go. Make sure he's in range of all the towers. Taking as much damage as possible while we try and kill him and keep him from destroying our wall. Now, he probably would have gotten through my wall anyways. There are some maps where, you know, you're stretching yourself pretty thin and you'll want to keep him from hammering on your wall because you don't necessarily have the mana to be upgrading and repairing. So now we're going to go to the progress screen and we're going to take a quick look and see what the loot looks like that you're going to get out of a Nightmare map. So I'm going to go back to my tavern. I'll take a quick look. Know what we're up to. So looks like we've got a few pieces. We are getting level 60 loot. I have my loot filter set so that I think it only picks up level 60 and above. And yeah, overall it looks like we've gotten quite a few things that are going to end up being upgrades. Not everything. As you can see, some of these are not amazing, but in general, this is definitely loot that will help us progress, help us increase our tower skills, and continue pushing through those campaign maps. Now, obviously, we're going to have a little bit of trouble without some help from some other players getting past the boss level. It's going to give us a bit of problems. But, you know, and then when we get into doing something like survival, now we've unlocked survival on the first two maps. I personally would wait until you have Magus Quarters to do a survival. It's such an easy map. Farm some extra gear if you feel like you need some more gear to progress. And of course, there's always the option of checking and seeing if you can join somebody else's game once you've unlocked, Throne Room Survival. Well, we don't unlocked Nightmare Throne Room. Otherwise, we could join that game and we could get that really good loot drop. So that's why it's important to work your way through unlocking that campaign so that you can join other players' games to get loot even faster than you could on your own. Well, hopefully this has been helpful and hopefully you've enjoyed. See you in the next one.